Today, I want to present you an indicator that will change how you invest in cryptocurrencies. This indicator is available for free for every single subscriber of Strategy Master. If you're not yet subscribed to the Strategy Master newsletter, I recommend you to go to strategymaster.substack.com or strategymaster.io and subscribe at the top right of the screen, or here in the middle of the page, just simply click a subscribe button. Once you subscribe, you message me or you simply go to the chat of Strategy Master and you put your TradingView username. Once you've done that, you will have access to the undervalued and overvalued cycles indicator. This indicator shows the overbought and oversold zones for cryptocurrencies, especially for the ones with a high liquidity like Ethereum, Bitcoin, Solana. You can also apply it for gold or stocks or even oil. If you open Bitcoin chart and you select the daily time frame, and you select the undervalued and overvalued cycles indicator, you will see the green and red color palette on the screen. Now, every single green signal, like this one, or that one, or even this one, represent a buy signal. The Bitcoin is oversold in the current conditions, and there is a great opportunity to enter the market. The red color represents the opposite. It shows where Bitcoin is overbought, and you should start unwinding your positions. Now, not every buy or sell signal is actually a profitable one. That's why you need to combine this strategy with cycle indicators that you can see at the bottom of the screen. In order to get those indicators, you have to go to Strategy Master blog once again, subscribe for the paid plan. Once you subscribe for the paid plan, you will get access to all cycle indicators and you will be able to make profitable decisions yourself without following any influencer on the internet. Now, looking at the current market condition, we cannot see any color on the screen right now. So basically right now, as of end of August, you cannot take any decision of to invest into Bitcoin or not to invest. You have to wait until you start seeing this green color on the screen. In order to see this color, two conditions must be met. The one-day cycle must go below 20 and the one-week cycle must go below 20 as well. Once those two cycles are below 20, you will start seeing this green color and this buy signal on the screen. As I mentioned before, not every single buy signal will be a profitable one. That's why you have to combine it with multiple cycles. Let's take a look at the last time when we had the buy signals. Right here we see 4 buy signals, but only 3 of them are actually really good, showing the exact bottom of Bitcoin. After those 3 signals, Bitcoin started to pump up, basically went up by about 20%, printed a sell signal, and then went a very short retracement before making a higher high once again. Now, why this one signal was actually kind of a bad call and these 3 signals were good calls? There are a couple of reasons for that. First of all, 2-week cycle was still very high and was falling when the very first buy signal was called. If you want to make the smartest decision in the room, you have to wait until the 2-week cycle also will go close to 20 or even below 20. When the 2-week cycle is below 20, it indicates the best possible opportunity to buy Bitcoin. In May 2024, we had one signal after another. However, after that, we actually went down. And you see, a very similar situation unfolded. Both buy signals were called when the 2-week cycle was still falling. Once it made an ultimate bottom, we actually bottomed. We had a very good opportunity to buy Bitcoin here. We had another opportunity to buy Bitcoin here, and another one to buy here. And if you follow the weekly cycle, especially the reversal points, and when the weekly cycle is around 20, you actually enter Bitcoin for the best possible price. So the best thing you can do is to combine these colors on the screen with the cycle indicators. Now, in order to increase the accuracy of the signals, what I can do, I can add a 3-day cycle indicator on the screen. The 3-day cycle indicator filters out even more signals. So for example, this signal would not be possible if we were to consider the 3-day cycle, because the 3-day cycle was at the top and we want to buy when all the indicators, or at least the majority of them, are close to 20 or already rising. And if I mark the bottom of the 3-day cycle, I can see that all these 3 places that I just marked before are actually confirmed by the 3-day cycle indicator. Same thing if we even go back into the past. We can see that these 2 buy signals were probably the best ones in the bull market, because we bought the perfect retracement which happened at the end of 2023 and in January 2024. The 3-day, the 1-week, and the 1-day indicators were all shouting that we are oversold and it's time to buy Bitcoin. Sure, the 2-week cycle, once again, it was at the top, so it was a risky call in the end. But what happened is the 2-week cycle indicator started to rise again. price was pumping, and again, we went up by about 30–40%. Now, if I go to the very beginning of the bull market, I can see that this indicator actually works perfectly. If you want to buy spot, there is nothing better than undervalued and overvalued cycle indicator, because you will always get Bitcoin for the cheapest price possible. Also, the tops are marked very accurately here and here. If you sold here and here, or even here, you actually save yourself from a further downside. Now, this is the ultimate bottom in the beginning of the bull market, and again, this indicator was accurate. Let's go into Ethereum and let's understand how we can use this indicator for altcoins. Now, for altcoins, I recommend adjusting the settings, and I recommend selecting cycle in this 3-day zone. Now, you're only gonna see the buy signals when all these three indicators, the weekly, the 3-day, and the daily, will go below 20. And if I zoom out, there's really not many buy signals. I can see one buy signal here, and I can see another one just 5 years ago. But the best part is that we have access to the background colors. The green color already shows the interesting zones where you should consider buying. What you have to do, you have to apply the cycle indicators on the screen to confirm whether you should really be buying or whether you should actually be waiting for a better time. Now, this zone was a perfect bottom. Here, where Ethereum Bitcoin pair bottom. And we can confirm that with the 3-day cycle, the 1-week cycle, and the 2-week cycle all going below 20. The 1-day cycle went below 20 just after the fact. And that's why you don't see this dark green color on the screen, but you actually don't even need that if you have these cycle indicators just in front of your eyes. Now, we've got similar situation before. In February 2025, the green background color could be seen also on the Ethereum Bitcoin pair. However, here, the 3-day cycle was above 80. And all you have to do, you simply have to wait until the 3-day cycle goes below 20 right here in order to start buying. Well, if you are already here, you can see that, hey, the weekly cycle above 20 and it started to go down. So again, you would disqualify and you would not buy here. You would wait once again until the cycles go down, and most probably somewhere in that zone you bought cryptocurrencies. Using this strategy, I bought Ethereum at 1,500 and at 1,800, practically at the bottom. If I go more into the past, I can find many similar situations like here. Green color, however, not a good buying opportunity in August 2024 because the 2-week cycle is going down, the 3-day cycle is at the top, so you don't want to be buying here. Using this indicator combined with cycle indicators finds you the best opportunities to buy. And hey, the reality is that Ethereum was not really a good buy in the last few years. Ethereum underperformed Bitcoin almost in every single year, and only now, only recently, Ethereum started to perform very well. The reality is that Ethereum is now overbought with the 2-week cycle and the 1-week cycle going above 80, and might be one more push for Ethereum. I expect Ethereum to actually go down, underperform Bitcoin once again. I'm able to forecast all this information purely based on cycles. So if you want to get access to all of it, you go to Strategy Master, you subscribe, you apply the indicators to yourself, and you become a much better investor. So subscribe to this video if you want me to analyze more coins like this, provide you much better analytical understanding of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Simply comment down below, subscribe to the channel, and see you in the next one.